right, Doc. Let's talk about getting this yard started.
Yeah. So this is actually a fun question that, I mean, we're getting a lot. I'm sure you are, in your role as well. So we have folks
all the time.
moving in to the state. We have a whole new generation that's buying homes for the first time.
First time, right.
And of course, folks who move. So I think that this is a really great time to help people get established well in a lot of, the base principles and practices of horticulture.
Right, because a lot of these folks have moved into homes and they've inherited this yard. So what do I do with it?
Yeah.
Right? That's what they're asking. So
yeah. So I think that as early in that conversation, of course, I always like to figure out, are we talking about an out-of-state move-in? Are we talking about, first time? I think that that climate comes into play, right? Because we have a lot of folks who may be moving to the area, who may be retiring, and so are you moving south? Have you come, from the north? And so a lot of that mindset about, growing climates, it comes into play when you think about turf grass, when you think about, selection of species. So knowing really the temperature ranges, the climate zone, those are things that I always like to talk about. Yeah, of course you're crosstown folks, you don't have to worry about that as much. And then we think about some more specifics on the site. And so I'm smiling because we've now made it, a minute and a half, and we're just about to say take a soil test, right?
Yeah. Finally, right?
Yeah. It's as long as any extension person ever makes it into a conversation without bringing up soil testing.
Yeah, why get soil tests, right? Yeah,
right.
Test. Okay.
Yeah, and so I think that even if you're familiar with the concept, it's important to be really detailed about the practices, right? So your lawn would be different from a landscape bed, which would be different potentially from your garden site.
Right.
So, and I would say that, especially if this is a whole new area, I would probably oversample rather than undersample initially.
Okay.
Because you don't really know how that site has been managed. And so, having, separate samples for the lawn, for the landscape, for other growing areas might help you narrow down differences that maybe you didn't know of.
Okay, I like that. All right, good deal. Yeah, so get your soil tested, right? All right.
I mean, I know when I got my soil tested when I moved to my house, the lawn, for instance, was high in P, it was high in K, and so I found out phosphorus and potassium very early on that a complete fertilizer was not what I needed. So those are important things, even if you're not going to make any big changes. But the soil test will allow you to then get recommendations based on your site. Make sure you rule out pH and things like that.
Okay, good deal.
And then we want to start to think about, okay, I've kind of laid the foundation. I know some of the basics about my climate, about my soil. Now, kind of do an assessment of the plant material and what we have.
Okay.
And oftentimes this discussion will include ID, right? It's one of our other, one of our other favorite things. And so thinking about what species do I have? Are they performing well in that site? Because just because it's there doesn't mean that we need to keep it.
That's right. It doesn't mean it's happy either, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because we want our plant material to survive and thrive.
Right.
Got it.
And those kinds of decisions are true for lawns as well as landscapes. It may be that we're inheriting a lot of cool season grasses that struggle, and larger changes might be better, to a warm season grass. So we want to, make a detailed assessment and maybe even draw a map, right? So sometimes it can be helpful to, to kind of map out, pick out your trouble spots, and use this in conjunction with the soil test information that you got.
That's good. Okay.
And then we get to the fun part.
That's the fun part, right?
Yeah. Because then we get to make our landscape plans based on our own needs and desires, right?
I do like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Good deal.
So then we want to think about, what our own goals are. Are there kids? Are there pets? Are there, how do we really want to use this space?
Okay.
Because we don't have to keep the percentage of lawn versus landscape. There could be lots of ways that we could that we could adjust. You know, large plants or trees wouldn't necessarily have to remain if we needed more sun, if we needed more, you know, space. So that kind of gives us the opportunity to decide what we really want. Do we want outdoor living? Do we want, you know, flowering?
Like
Do
that.
we love lawn? All of those are fine, right?
All of those are fine,
Yeah.
right?
And then we can integrate, you know, broader principles as far as sustainability. You know, are we making sure that we install things that are water efficient? Are they well placed? We're going to use all the cliches, right? So we've already said,
Right plant,
don't.
right place.
Yeah.
Right plant, right
yeah,
place.
Yeah. And so those are two favorite extensions.
Yes.
Phrases right there. And then once we kind of have those basic principles, then we can start to build, you know, our landscape plan onto that. And I think that what I always try to encourage folks is don't start at an overwhelming pace.
Yes.
Move
I
slow.
so agree. Move slow. Just a little bit at a time. A little bit at a time. Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
And I mean, I know even in my own landscape, I just kind of did, you know, a bed at a time, and kind of, you know, over time, then you're able to install, you know, your vision. I repainted my house to match my shrubs.
How about that? Look at you.
You know,
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
All right.
But
Serious.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then you can add in smaller scale food production,
Yeah.
wildlife support. And so kind of thinking about different areas over a period of time gives you a chance to focus and, you know, and learn new types of gardening. Maybe this is the raised bed year. Maybe this is the small fruit year.
Okay.
So I think that, you know, learn new options, enjoy it, and don't feel like it all has to be done at the same
I
time.
like that. I like that. And then, of course, you know, this hits home for you because you moved to Tennessee from West Virginia. So you had to
Right.
learn about soil types, you know,
Yeah.
sites, drainage, and things like
Yeah.
that. So, okay.
Yeah, so it's funny when I told my best friend that I was moving to Tennessee, she was like, "Well, Tennessee, what do we grow there?" I said, "Solid crepe myrtle territory," right?
All right.
Because
Right.
you know, for my
Yeah.
you know my folks at home, like, I mean,
Yeah.
you could plant them, they just may not survive for very many years, right?
Funny, yeah.
And so yes, I do describe states by you
Yeah.
know, new species. I've really enjoyed being on the 7 line because there's a lot of things that I really hadn't grown very much until I moved here, and it's true when you move north as well, right? You get into stronger lilac and rhododendron territory
Right, that's
if you
right.
move
Okay,
north.
something we can't grow well here.
Yeah,
Right, exactly
yeah.
right. I like that. Good deal. All right, so yeah.
Yeah.
If all else fails, right, locate your local extension office.
Right. Yeah. So know your site, know your options, and make good friends
Make good
with
friends.
your resources. We have great folks that'll help you with these things, and you know, a lot of good businesses in the area that provide great
Sure.
plant material. So I think enjoy the process. You know.
Enjoy the process, she says. I think she enjoyed her process. Thank you much, Doc. We appreciate that. It's good. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please click the subscribe button below.